My wonderful editor always comments on how those like click when I'm recording, and it doesn't really matter for this, but it actually annoys me too. Um, okay. I am going to try to cook and talk. I did this one other time and I think I was fairly successful, although I do think I jumped around a little bit. But I do that when I'm just sitting still. So, um, it's been a weird week. Weird, I think weird isn't the right word. Um, this is my first holiday. Ooh, you know what I've seen people do? Is that too close to my face? If I did this, I mean, I probably shouldn't even be wearing a hat. I hate holding this thing. I just want to talk. Cute or no? Because I'll put like a picture of these pants from Gap the other day, and they had like a satin, almost like a satin boxer, like exposed, and then the black pant, but it was like obviously all one pair of pants. I was like, do I like those? Are they too like, I don't know, but I almost bought them, and I haven't bought, most of the things I have bought for the last year have been thrifted. So that was like really one of the first times that I even really considered buying like something at a regular retail store in a while. Um, which is also interesting. I saw this TikTok and this woman was like, she said something about how, I can't remember the specifics, but her fashion shifted a lot when she started doing like more inner child healing. I think that's what she was referring to. And she said something about how like um, you revert back to like a younger version of you with fashion, and that starts to like show up in your style. And I literally was like, is that what's happening? That's totally what's happening. I have not, I recorded this story at some point, but I'm going to share this video like January 2nd, I think right after the new year. So you probably haven't heard this story, but I definitely talk about this at some point. I think I was a junior in high school, and I showed up to school one day and I was matching my English teacher. Like we both had on this polka dot skirt, and this was not like a subtle casual skirt. It was like bold, bright colors, these giant polka dots, and I wore it with so much confidence. and and I remember I had on like a Mustang t-shirt. So I wore it with like a graphic tee and probably sneakers because I don't know. But anyway, I walked in and I was just like, oh no. Oh, no, no, no. She had like a quirky style, which now, I mean, so did I, obviously. And I mean, I bet me today would be like incredible, top tier. But as a whatever 15, 16-year old, I was like mortified. Mortified. Okay, so it's like holiday time. I This is going to be the weirdest stretch for the next yeah, but okay, so that's what I was saying, that weird is not even the right word because it's just such a different experience. And I've been trying to flip, and I want to really like lean into that I feel that way. There is a lot of that, and I'm doing some things to like help myself double down on that almost, but it's a weird year. Um, and so connecting to that idea or concept around like inner child healing, bringing out a new fashion sense or a new style, it definitely has also brought out creativity for me. And so I'm actually thinking that that's going to be my word for 2026. Every year I try to set um, like a, not an intention, because I don't really, I had a really great conversation with, oh, these are my weakness right now. Um, I had a really great conversation with a new friend the other day about um, resolutions and just like setting intentions and all of that. And I'm going to do with another friend, we're going to make vision boards. And I do lean into this time of the year a little bit, but I like the idea of setting a word for the year because it helps me keep that focus, but let the rest of my life kind of unfold instead of being like really rigid around like a resolution. So I've been bouncing around the idea of the word creativity. As I've gotten through more and more of my own healing work this year, I have definitely stepped into so much more creativity. And I've been trying to ask myself, like, when and why did I stop being creative or stop being as creative? Because that has always been a big part of like me, my life. And I think I just have been in such survival mode around, especially professionally, like, yeah, I haven't allowed myself the space to be creative. So in this downtime, I've been trying to find creative things to do and lean into like that inner child part of myself around especially Christmas, because I think about too, I realize that if I'm if I'm so honest, I'm not going to say all of the traditions I've ever had around holidays, but a good majority of the traditions that I've created in romantic partnerships or relationships since I've celebrated holidays as an adult, I've created like a tradition with that person, like as you would. But because I didn't grow up celebrating holidays, I don't have any traditions that are just mine, like, or connected to like my family or my childhood. And I have never really thought that that's important, or I've never thought about that at all, I guess. And I think this year it's been really interesting to think about, like, if it's just up to me, what would I do? Like, if I want to do something for like my inner child, like, how would a child version of me who never got to celebrate Christmas want to celebrate Christmas? Like, what would I want us to go do? And like, how, so like trying to like lean into that a little bit. Don't get me wrong, I've been really sad too. There have been a lot of breakdowns, and I have felt a lot of emotion around how strange this year is, and this time of year especially. But at the same time, like, I don't, I might not have this again. I mean, I honestly, like, I hope I don't have this again. I would love by this time next year to be with someone and like having the opportunity to start recreating traditions, but like maybe not. And like honestly, why even that thought is a little bit frustrating, trying to give myself some grace, but like why can't I have that for myself? Like, have I learned nothing? Have I learned nothing in this whole process? Like, why can't I just decide that next year I'm gonna celebrate? And I did do that. So you'll see like some of the stuff I bought. I did kind of have this moment of like, maybe by next year I'm gonna have a Christmas tree. I was looking through even the vlog I think I shared last week or the week before. This last month, I feel like, and like all of December, I've been preparing myself for the emotions that would be holidays. And Thanksgiving didn't feel very emotional because I mean, there's a handful of reasons, but it didn't hit me the same way. So I started trying to like, okay, like we might be a little sad. It's okay to be sad. It's okay. I've been trying to really find, oh, that's probably really loud, trying to find ways to like just give myself the type of Christmas I would want and the holiday that I would want and lean into, like, I went and saw Avatar the other night and that was like, I mean, that movie, I have so many thoughts. It was like trippy. Yeah, that's a whole nother, I could talk about that for like an hour. And my intention is to make dinner. So I want to show you this, but I've been doing all these like little things for myself. And so today I was like, okay, what do I want to do today? And I came up with some cute little things. I'm going to make myself dinner and dessert. Okay, and then I kind of went a little bit, I don't want to, it's not even that crazy. Like I bought like a few things, but I don't normally just like go buy a bunch of stuff like this for myself. That is like so, I don't want to say like unnecessary, but kind of unnecessary. Oh, this is so cute. She had one like this somewhere, and she asked me the other day if I had seen it, and I haven't. And so I saw this at like the checkout, of course, and I was like, ugh, bought it. So now we have another little reusable paper towel. It's like one of those wash, like you can like use it a million times. Okay, is that all my food? Should I put this stuff away? And then I'll show you maybe my little gifts. Oh yeah, honey mustard. Okay. So I got myself flowers. That's been like a thing I've done for a little while. I have this really cute vase. It's like a bud vase, and I can stick all these different flowers. Like a tiny bouquet like this looks really unique and pretty. And then I'm gonna make some dinner. I'm gonna make salmon. This is another AI favorite. I will say, like, I have this. Give me like 5 suggestions of I usually try to even say like of a like refreshing meal or like a healthy meal. This time I said like a comfort, rich and comforting or something like that. I don't know. I'll have to double check. But I said I have strawberries, honey Greek yogurt, salmon, and potatoes. And I want a recipe. And it suggested like roasted potatoes and carrots with salmon. And the salmon has like a balsamic yogurt glaze. Yum. Yes, I want that. Onion. Okay, so that's all that stuff. I should put this in the freezer. And then I just saw these Blondie bars that are shockingly healthy. It says shockingly healthy. So that made me feel like I should get them. Made with chickpeas and dates. Hopefully they're good because, I mean, that's a gamble, I would say. Okay, so let's show you this stuff first, and then I'm gonna try to cook. And then I think, okay, yeah, like, okay, first stuff. I bought these were on clearance, and they're these skinny little candles. They're for, I don't know how to say, they're for a menorah, I think is how you say it. But I don't know why I feel bad about this. I'm probably not even going to put this in there because I just feel like I don't even want anyone's feedback on this. But I'm going to use these for potentially like cord cutting. I did a cord cutting little like ceremony and just cleared out some. That's definitely something not just for like end of year because whatever, but I do feel like 2025, like there are so many things I definitely feel like we just have got to clear this out. This has got to get out of here. Like this is just, oh, it's been a lot. And I think it's been a lot for a lot of people. Maybe that's just, I think you see what you are focused on. And so maybe because I have been focused on what an uphill climb this has felt like for me, I have maybe observed that in other people, but it's been an uphill climb. So these are like little mini candles. I did a ceremony to just clear out this. That was incredible. I will talk about that at some point, but definitely not right now. Powerful, crazy, so many things today. But one of the things is that I went into this little jewelry store today, and the woman who worked there, she was so nice. And she offered to clean my ring for me, and I was like, oh, sure. And then it was just like this it was just like this really great conversation. And then when she was cleaning my ring, she was like, especially like just to clear out like any energies or something, you know, like if nothing else, like just to clean out. Cause I think I had said I just got it back, but I haven't had it back for a long time and for very long. So like, it's not that dirty is basically what I was saying. But she was saying, but then she said, even if it's just to clear out some like energies. And I just like, I was like, yeah, right, exactly. Even if it's just for that. But the way she said it, I just was like, oh my God, like I just did that. How did you know that? Cool. Yeah, so she cleaned it and it's so sparkly now. But I've been bopping around, like doing a little bit of shopping. Popped in there. She was so nice. What was the point of that story? Oh, the candle clearing. I think it was because I was saying that. So I did like a clearing. Okay, so I went into like a Home Goods and I bought a glove. I am nomadic right now. So like where does this need to go? Like what are we going to do with this? But this goes back to kind of what I was saying about like in past relationships, I've kind of created these different traditions, and I had this tradition with my ex-husband, and I'm like very sure this one was my idea. Like I'm very, very sure this was my idea. But we bought these pins. They're like the little kinds of pins that have the like sewing pins, but they have the colored tops. And we would like put them in all the places that we traveled. And we had this like globe, and every time we would go somewhere, we would like do this. And I just realized like why I can do that. Like I'm pretty sure it was my idea. And even if it wasn't, even if it was not mine exclusively in some capacity, it's a good idea and I can do it for myself and I don't need to attach it to another person. And if he wants to make a globe, he can make a globe. Everyone can have globes. So I bought this. I like saw it and I was like, I want this. And I thought about, you know, I was kind of justifying for myself even after buying this, even if I were to just, you know, start it, because I'm starting to kind of accumulate little, I don't want to say like tchotchkes because I'm not like a live, laugh, love person. But I have been collecting like little like crystals, and I have like a candle, well, even that bud vase that I was saying, like for the flowers. So like these little like decor things that I'm sort of like, when I'm not here anymore, where did those go? Like what's the plan? And I don't know. I feel this like, it feels really good to be somewhat situated and have some stability. And even though this is not permanent and there is possibility, obviously at any point, like I think I've really developed a strong sense of detachment around like my physical location and I think I've been really flexible and open to however that looks. And I honestly think like even if I had to do all this and I just, for whatever reason, let's say I left tomorrow in a rush, I had to donate everything, like it would still be worth the feeling it's giving me of like feeling more established. It would still be worth it, even if I just like gave it all away as soon as I moved to another location. Like I don't think that that's what's going to happen. I feel this kind of like, I think I'm getting closer to getting situated. I don't know what that will look like, but I have a feeling 2026 is just, there will be some clarity around where I want to be. And maybe even I might ship my pod somewhere and like take my things out of storage, which would feel great. I would love to like have some of my stuff. I think there's certain things I definitely miss. And I think having somewhere that is just like mine will help me keep building on this foundation that I'm creating. And so like a part of me is like, well, who's to say I won't be able to figure out, even if it was expensive, like who's to say I wouldn't be able to ship all my new things somewhere? Like maybe I feel fairly confident that I would be able to like afford that. And I would be able to start, like things have just been really, I just have a good feeling about it. Don't want to jinx it. No evil eye. Get that away from me. But I feel like I am starting to feel more stable. And I think that feels really good. And this is helping me kind of like lean into that part of me that wants to like create some like tradition, even if it's just putting little pins in a globe to mark the spots I've traveled. Like that feels like, yeah, just some stability. So the other thing, okay, so that's like craft project number 1. And I've got those little candles. Okay, so this project, I bought some new silk pillowcases because it says on here, kind to skin, less breakouts, sleep lines, reduces hair frizz. You know, I have these in my pod. I have these already, but I don't have them with me, and I just decided I needed them. And then I also bought this heatable sleep mask, which I'm so excited for because I've been going to this gym that has it's like awesome. It's yoga, sauna, cold plunge, sound baths, breath work, and it's like beautiful and everyone is so nice. And they have masks, like eye masks for the sound baths, but they're kind of like they're just like thin. This one is like beaded and you can heat it. So even at home, like, just sounds like such a great way to do breath and meditation. And then I bought these cute little empowerment cards, like a little stand. Do I need this? No, of course not. Of course I don't need it. Let's see what one of them says. Let's pull an empowerment card. They were on clearance, $6. A girl in the right shoes can conquer the world. I'm telling you, this is necessary. This is necessary. This is like helping me like rebuild my self-trust and like show myself that I can take care of myself and I don't need to look outside of myself. Yeah. I even bought, this is like, again, is this necessary? No. But I've been working on this art project. It's this painting with my little Portugal rocks. Actually, I'll show it to you because it's really cute. I think it's really cute. Okay, it's in progress. Let's see if can you see it? Yeah. These are all rocks from Portugal. And I have more and I need to like put this shelf on. But I've been working on this little painting and so I need an easel, I decided. And I don't have anywhere to fit like a full easel. So I bought a tabletop easel and I'm gonna put it on my desk. So that way, even when I'm working, my hope is that that will give me like sort of a little bit more balance around growing my business, which is also necessary and important, but then like reminding me of my creativity and not to get too far one way or the other. Just keep it in the middle. Okay, and then the last little thing, this is also connected to traditions and like creating them for myself. So I have been, okay, so I've been embroidering these like pretty women with like floral designs and I've gifted them to different friends. And it's like a fun, not scrolling activity to keep me off my phone. And so I thrifted this stocking. Can you see this pattern? So I don't have a stocking. I don't have like an heirloom stocking that I grew up with or anything like that. And I've had stockings in the past, but they've always been connected to a partner. So we've always had like matching ones and like even those, like I'm fairly sure I bought the stockings. Like I'm fairly sure that was I wanted to do those things and like stuff them with gifts and have, whatever. But anyway, I've never had my own stocking. So I saw this one at a thrift store. I think it was like $1. Somebody obviously made it. Hopefully it has just great energy and great memories, but I'm going to make it my own. And so I decided to buy this like 3D fabric, like puff paint. And I'm going to write my name like on the top of this. It needs a little loop thing. And I'm like really proud of myself. And I'm really proud of myself because I did not put pressure on myself to do all of this and get this all done before Christmas. Like this is literally a work. If this is Christmas 2028, that's fine. It's just a fun activity. I think that's the biggest thing that I've realized with creativity. I attach it to, I was having this conversation with this new friend and he was talking about hobbies and like, I've noticed, I think because I've been in some form of sort of like survival, whether that's just like on the financial spectrum, like hobbies sometimes cost money, you know, like obviously this stuff all costs money. So it has not been as accessible for me to have hobbies. Now that isn't like fully true because I've been able to find ways to lean into that, and it has just taken like initiative, you know, like I read, that's a hobby. Like I've bought books at the thrift store for 50 cents. Like there are ways that I can cultivate creativity that don't require money. I think sometimes I want to do hobbies that, like the hobbies I've ever even explored, are maybe a little bit more expensive, or sometimes take like a little bit more upfront investment in some capacity. I haven't lately had much access to that up until this last little stretch where things are starting to like really feel like there's some stability. And I think the more I do this, the more I lean into these kind of like taking myself out and doing all of this, buying this, you know, now I'm gonna like have some time to myself to have a craft day, you know, and like these empowerment cards, like I'm gonna go with my friend and make vision boards. And so like having little empowerment messages on my vision board is something that I can like lean into to keep cultivating this idea of having these traditions and things that are just like for myself. And the vision boards, like I made a vision board. I love vision boards. I've made so many, but I remember specifically when I was in the van, I went to like a vision board party in January, and I was by myself, and I went to this like meetup, and I made the cutest vision board. And it was like I was traveling in the van then. I had like literally very little space for a vision board. Like I mean, it was just a poster board, but still, like it's just prioritizing. And so I'm trying to find ways to prioritize the things I've maybe collected is the right word over the years in ways that have like felt like things I want to carry on, even if it's just doing it by myself. And like trying not to make that feel negative in some way. And that is just a narrative. I feel like that is just projected on to us to feel some sort of urgency or some sort of rush that like we are doing something wrong if we're alone. And like, it's not true. Like, I think I need this alone time, especially like this holiday alone. I think I really need this in a way that allows me to kind of go back and heal some of the inner child parts of myself that really no one else could heal for me. I'm the only one that can lean into this. No one else experienced my childhood. Not that it was not, I'm not saying it was just some terrible childhood. I'm the only one that experienced it. So I'm the only one that can go back and say, like, okay, what do you want to buy for Christmas? What do you want your stocking to look like? Like, I didn't get to do that. And that's something I want. And so instead of putting that responsibility externally on someone else, like, I think it's really important that I'm in a position where I am by myself and I have so much time on my hands right now, this holiday stretch, where I have the ability to take a pause and ask myself those questions. And I don't want to miss that opportunity. I want to lean into that instead of running away from it, because I do think it will help me show up for myself in a better way just on a day-to-day basis, you know, like these are kind of those big, I can like feel my throat. This is so uncomfortable to talk about. Yeah, but these are the things that I really think are going to like positively impact just how I show up in other areas of my life. And I want to show up integrated. I want to show up without projecting my needs onto other people around me, especially people I love. So like the people that I would want, you know, people in the past that I've had relationships with, you know, I'm sure a lot of my, let's just like use the holidays as an example. I'm sure a lot of my holiday traumas or my own, you know, inability to soothe the little kid in me that was, you know, a little feeling like they didn't get any of this. They didn't get this experience. Like that little kid would like act out a lot, I think, during the holidays. And I think, again, I can absolutely think back to plenty of stories that happened around the holidays where I was acting like a little child who was very upset. And that's not okay. So this is how we fix that. This is how we stop doing that. This is how we pattern break and stop repeating cycles that are not serving us. And I'm doing my absolute best to take this time by myself. And yes, I'm feeling sad, and I've let myself feel sad when it's come up, but otherwise I feel like I'm just trying as best as possible to like acknowledge those needs, and instead of judging them in some way or repressing them or whatever else, you know, numbing them out, I'm trying to like, I just am trying to sit with them and then address them. And like, okay, so even this, like I literally was like, I don't need to spend this money. Where do I even need to store this? I don't need to spend this money. Where am I going to do that? Like there's a lot of narrative that comes up, and then I just kind of like lean in, and I like let my younger self decide, like, do we need this? Okay, what do you need? Like now, again, it's not to an excessive amount. This is not excessive. But it feels really excessive for where I've been for the last like year of my life, maybe even 2 or 3. So, yeah, it feels excessive to go do this. And it's like, man, that's so, I am worth this. I am worth this. And then some, and then some, and then some, and then some. The next video I recorded, I'm back in the US after my first trip to Portugal. And I cannot believe I cannot believe this year. I cannot believe this year. It's just been one of the it's a trajectory shift year for me. Not a doubt in my mind. It has just been such a ride. There's just been so much. I don't even know. I can't even believe it's been my year. I just can't even believe. I mean, there've been like the hardest things and also the greatest things, and I like the contrast between the two is so interesting. Yeah, and I'm really proud of myself for documenting that. And I trail off a little bit, so after I get back, I think it's like March, April. Yeah, I think I have 2 or 3 videos that I record in that stretch, like that March, April time. Maybe there's just 2. I take a work trip, and then things really shift a lot, and I have a lot of content around a part of this year that I'm still processing through, and I just haven't been able to heal from yet. And I have been trying to just share from things that I feel I've given myself enough time to work through, and I can only speak from them in a way that really like squeezes out the wisdom. And I can't do that when I get a lot of emotion instead of wisdom when I'm still actively hurting. And I wish I could say I wasn't. Man, do I wish I could say I wasn't. But it has been hard. It has been really hard. And I'm trying to just give myself the space to like let it be that, and also acknowledge that it's okay for me to not share parts of my life. Nobody's making me do this. I can edit accordingly. And I just the really fascinating thing for me about the way that I've been sharing these, the way that I've been going back almost back in time and sharing, is that I almost feel like I'm talking to my future self. It's the craziest thing because I'm now here, December, end of the year, and I'm watching these videos as I'm editing and going through, and I'm, making notes on things that I want to take out and change, whatever, put graphics up. Like, it's literally like I'm giving myself like some tips about like what I need to hear in this moment, real time. And I think, just even hearing that, like hearing myself say, like that reminder of sharing from scars and letting myself heal, giving myself the space to heal as long as it takes me. It doesn't matter. There's no time frame. I don't need to like put on a mask about being okay. It's okay if I'm not totally good with talking about certain parts of this last year. That's okay. Nobody's forcing me. I'm the only person. This is literally like, I think at this point, I wanted to do a little like, I think I'm going to do that this month, like document my stats because I'm pretty sure I have like 30 people on YouTube subscribing. So, like, nobody cares. Nobody cares. If I take out a chunk of my life from last year, there is nobody that's going to be like, hey, girl, I feel like you weren't telling us the whole story. Like, nobody cares. So I'm just not going to do that. I'm just going to save that part for me right now. And I don't know exactly what that means. I think there are some things that I recorded that I will share because it feels like I could work it into like my current experiences. But I do think in the new year, like as I keep recording these and putting these out after this one airs, the first one in the new year, I'm gonna start leaning into doing more of this, like bringing real time into this space I'm creating. I haven't done that so far a lot, and I want to do more of that. So yeah, there might be some gaps in my processes as I'm going through whatever, the new year looks like, whatever 2026 looks like. And at some point, I might go back and share more, and maybe I never will. And that is for me to decide. And I keep just, for some reason, I don't know, it's been hard for me to give myself permission to do that, to kind of hold things for myself and let myself just like process through for as long as I need to. And what better experiment than for me to have this space to be able to like show myself that it does not matter, that I am the only person who decides how I do anything, literally anything. I've built my life that way. That's why I'm an entrepreneur, because I get to say what I do and when I do it and how I do it and who does it with me. Like, I feel this, like almost, I don't know, this power coming back into my mindset around, like, I forget that I've given myself my life, my whole life. Like, I almost feel this like victimhood lifting, and that feels so good because as much as I have almost like punished myself for the downfalls or the challenges I've navigated the last stretch, I also haven't really celebrated like all the different things I've accomplished, even in the things that have externally been very hard and difficult. There's still a lot of like really cool things weaved within that. And then going back even further, if I want to be really focused on tangible things, like I gave myself, when I was looking at some of those photos I was pulling up, like my apartment and like my, just the, like I gave myself that life. But that doesn't mean that you have to be in a relationship in order to have that. And for whatever reason, I feel like I have, if I'm really honest, I've been sort of telling myself that like I can't give myself traditions by myself. I can't, settle down by myself. I have to be nomadic. I have to be, and like, do I want to be? Yeah. But it's like, it's also been a year. And like, do I want to be? I don't have to be. We could like make a plan. That was always the plan. The plan was to make a plan. So like, I do feel this part of myself tapping into like, do you want to make a plan now? Like, we can start planning. It's safe to start like rebuilding, like actually tangibly in a way that gives you some of that stability that you're craving. Like, you don't need someone else to give that to you. You can do that. Let's do it. Let's do it. So part of that is crafting, apparently, and I'm going to lean into that this stretch. Okay, I don't remember what else I talked about in the video from Chicago, my first video back in the US, but I do think I'm going to see if that fuses into here, if it's not too long. We'll see. Maybe I'll put it in the one after, but I'm really excited about 2026. I think there's a lot of really big shifts happening in the world, and I'm definitely feeling those in my life, and it doesn't feel, for me, it doesn't feel like a fearful based thing. I know there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and sometimes I do dip down into feeling fearful about what that could mean. But I honestly think that is just such a trap, and I have been able to start learning how to catch myself and pulling myself back into a place where I'm not fearful of the change that needs to happen. There needs to be change. Things have to change. And I'm seeing that in my life so directly. And then, of course, I'm seeing external things in the world that obviously need to change. So I think 2026 is going to bring a lot of change. And for me, I am excited for those changes. I want those changes. I'm ready for them. And I think all of these years of challenge have been preparing me for whatever the change looks like, because I really feel equipped to navigate that. And I think there are going to be a lot of people that do not feel equipped. And I think I have built up enough strength to be able to support other people that might not be ready for changes. However I can, whatever that looks like, even if it's just inspiring random strangers online, all 30 of them. But I don't think it's going to be 30 for long.